Hi, my name's Zoe and welcome to the Educate YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I set up my sensory tray for Sports Week here at the Educate Educational Playgroup in Brisbane, Australia. Let's get started. First, I have my sensory bases in here. I always store them in an airtight container, and then I also have the things that I'm going to put on my sensory tray for my sporting theme. I've got little trophies, these star containers, acrylic risers, and some medals. All of these, besides the medals, are kind of waterproof and washable, which makes them really easy to sanitize and something that I need as I reset for many sessions throughout the week. Now you might actually be wondering, what am I using for my sensory tray? This is a tough tray that I purchased from Gumtree Kids, and I also have the stand which folds up really nicely, and it just can store flat in my storage shed. This is like a plastic grass mat that I put down to make sure that we can catch any of the sensory base that goes underneath, and it really also helps because this playground area where the playgroup is facilitated has lots of bark, and I don't really want that bark being mixed into my sensory base because I want to be able to reuse it amongst my sessions. And so I find that the grass mat is a helpful barrier to help catch the sensory base of the rice and split peas that I'll show you soon, but also help to avoid children by putting it into the tray and mixing it all together, because hey, making a mess is fun, isn't it? Now, this mirror tray I also purchased from Gumtree Kids, and what I find it so helpful that it does is it kind of makes a nice centerpiece, but it also, notice, it saves, this tray is big, so it saves so much space in the sense that I can use less sensory mix. And if you think about it, small children, I have children between the ages of like probably 9-10 months, all the way up to 5 years here. So there's enough space around this tray, but also they're probably only going to be using this area anyway. They're not really going to be reaching far into the tray. So having something in the center is helpful. Now, what I have done this week is, rather than keep it the mirror side, I've flipped it over and I've put my risers kind of like, you know, first place, second place, third place. I put my trophies on top. I always have a rule of thumb is if it takes me more than 5 minutes to set up, I'm not doing it. So I like fast and effective things to do, because hey, if you're doing this, whether it's at your home, school, childcare centre, kindergarten, you want to make sure that things are fast and simple as well. Keep it super simple. Things like that are best. So as I'm setting up, I always make sure that I've got a clear space. I've got my base in here. It is green rice. It's dry, it's not cooked, so it's raw. I just buy white rice from the supermarket, just the cheapest per kilo rice, and I dye it green. And how I do that is I put it in a container with some vinegar and some food coloring. If you don't know how to do that, and that's something that you'd like to learn and me to do a video on, please let me know in the comments, because you telling me what you'd like to see can be really helpful. So don't be shy, I'd love to hear from you. Then as add a bit of texture, I've just added some like green split peas, which I guess kind of is like a lentil that you might find in like the soup aisle of the supermarket. And I reuse this mix for the week. So throughout my week here at the Educate Educational Playgroup, I will do one theme. So I've got all the same 16 activities going on for playgroup, and I do that 6 times over for all of my sessions. Now, I'm going to pour it on. Pick out any bark that I've seen and just spread it round. It's such a lovely feeling. Well, I find it feels really nice. It's always a really big hit having a dry base on my sensory tray. Some things I always do is like water play, sand play, Play-Doh. So there's lots of different sensory opportunities here. Now is the time that I just spread out my things. Now I just try and make it sure it's evenly spaced. I have 6 stars, so I kind of just space them evenly around the base. I might pop some extra trophies down, and then I might pop some medals as well. And voila, My extra tip with the rice is that because the rice and vinegar kind of has a bit of an off smell, I just drop in a few spots of essential oils in there, and it just helps it smell really nice. So things I might use is like lavender essential oil, peppermint is one of my favorites. You can just use a scent that you like, or hey, why not ask the children that are in your care of what scent, okay? Always getting their input can be really, really helpful. So I find that having a container that's maybe a smaller container and then a larger container helpful, because then kids can pour. And for older children, you can be, and if any children are sort of wanting extension, you can be talking about I guess capacity words like full, overflowing, if something's empty or nearly empty or nearly full. You can tie in such rich language into just play, okay? And I say just, and I kind of regret that word, but I mean it. You know, play is so powerful. Sensory play is such a great way for children to regulate and to learn, and also for parents and caregivers to connect with children too. You know, I love nothing more than seeing a group of families and children around the sensory tray, sitting, playing, having a lovely time, having a chat. It's just a really simple and lovely way to slow down and connect. Now, I'm new to YouTube. This is one of my first ever videos that I've made, so I would love it if you could like and subscribe, because apparently that's what you do on YouTube. So please help me out, like and subscribe. I want to keep doing these videos every week, and I want to know from you, what do you want to see? Pop that in the comments. So I'm going to keep bringing these videos to you. Can you keep bringing the questions? What do you want to see? What do you want me to show you? I'm cheering you on. You can do this.